Hi everyone, my name is Michael Kennedy from the University of Virginia. I'm the producer of the HLP and Special Education video series. On behalf of the entire HLP and Special Education video production team, I'm pleased to introduce this new series featuring unedited clips of teachers of students with disabilities implementing various HLPs and evidence-based practices. The teacher and students featured in this video are not actors. The teacher is a certified professional and was recruited following a nomination process from her district. Parents of all children signed consent forms. Some students who are not identified have IEPs. The teachers were not given any script, but they were asked to demonstrate certain HLPs. Viewer opinion on various aspects of the lesson will vary. This video, in its unedited form, is intended to spur dialogue amongst professionals and those in training around options for implementing high-quality practice. All comments and discussion in that vein should be respectful and honor the willingness of the teacher and students to put themselves in this vulnerable position to benefit your learning.
So we're going to go over just a few of our classroom expectations this morning so that you can remember them and end your time as a fourth grader really well. One thing I want to practice, because we've been kind of being really noisy when we've been lining up, is lining up at the door. Who can tell us what that sounds like? When we line up at the door, Corinne, what does that sound like?
Level 0.
Level 0. And what does that mean if you're at a level 0, Corinne?
Quiet.
Quiet. I shouldn't hear you. I shouldn't hear your feet. I shouldn't hear your voice. What else does it sound like? Sarah.
Silent.
So it's silent, level 0. Anything else? Naomi?
We're still not arguing about what? Where we are.
Yeah, we're not arguing. We're being kind. All right. Let's talk about what that looks like when we're lining up at the door. Josh, what should I see?
You should see us not talking and not jumbling up and pushing each other.
So our hands are to ourselves. What else should I see, D'Angelo?
Standing quiet.
Standing quietly. And I'm just going to put standing because sometimes we like to get over there and we like to sit on the table or lean against Moses' desk over there or get up against the mailbox, but we're just standing in our spot. Raheem? Facing forward. Love that one. We'll do one more. What else does it look like, Sarah?
When the lineman is trying to get in front of you, don't say, no, you're not supposed to be here.
Right, well, that's what it sounds like because we're at a level 0, but what does it look like, Carter? What am I seeing when I'm looking at our line when we're lined up at the door?
No, I don't know, standing next to nobody.
Yeah, you're behind the person. We are famous for standing next to people, but we need to be behind someone. All right, I need some volunteers who are going to show us the correct way to line up at the door. So when I tell you to line up, I'm going to have Carter, Naomi, Corinne, Heritage, and Sierra. You 5 are going to line up at the door the right way. So show us what it should look like. Line up at the door. Show us the right way to line up at the door. Who can tell us what they're doing really well right now? Moses?
Standing straight.
Standing straight. Melody, what else? Yeah, they're behind somebody. They're not next to somebody. D'Angelo?
Staying quiet.
They're very, very quiet right now. We can't even hear them over there. Thank you, you 5 friends. Come back. I need some friends to show us how not to line up because some of us are in this bad habit of lining up totally crazily, and we gotta see what not to do. Inasia, Scholar, Melody, and Kevin, on the count of 3, you 4 are gonna show us how not to line up. And I'm gonna have you take our math friends in just a second. We're gonna finish this. Okay? All right. friends, show us how not to line up at the door.
Did you see that new movie today? It was really good. Did you see that new movie?
Who can tell us what they're doing wrong? Because it doesn't sound like or look like what we just said we should be doing. Kalia, what are they doing wrong?
They are not in a straight line.
Not in a straight line at all. Naomi?
Does it count as a line?
That doesn't even look like, that's a blob over there.
And not a line segment, not a line.
You're right, it would be a line segment. Come back, friends, over there. Carter, you should be back in your spot. Okay, you can go out there. All right, so we saw what to do, we saw what not to do, so we're going to end with what to do. And for this one, we are going to have some new volunteers show us again and remind us what to do. We're going to have Josh, Kalia, Raheem, Inasia. Show us what to do, please. How do we line up the correct way? Logan, what do you notice about them? What are they doing right?
I noticed what they're doing right is this standing in a straight line.
Standing in a straight line. Melody, anything else? Voice level 0. Thank you for my friends who modeled for us. Come on back. Give yourselves a pat on the back because you guys know how to line up like 4th graders. Before we go to our next expectation, stand up. Do 6 reach for the ceilings and sit back down.
This one's good.
Did she call your name? Go. Tyler, I'll send the others out in just a little bit. Did she call your name too? Okay, go ahead. All right, friends. The second thing I want to talk about and practice and review is turn and talk, because we do this all the time. And sometimes we do it really, really, really well, and sometimes we have a little bit of trouble. So let's review it. What does turn and talk sound like, Scholar?
Voice, also known as voice level.
Yeah, a whisper voice. Voice level 1. What else does it sound like, Nasir? Yeah, you're staying on topic with your partner. If you're talking about what you did last night, you're talking about just that. You're not talking about what you're going to do this summer. So you're staying on topic. What else does it sound like? Naomi?
It's like we're talking the whole time, and we're not just like 3, then talking at one sentence, and then it's like, okay, we'll wait here for the rest of it.
Yeah, you're talking the whole time. You're asking each other questions. You're trying to get each other into the conversation. What does turn and talk look like? Leah? Knee to knee. What else does it look like? D'Angelo?
Looking directly at the person.
I love that. And why do we look at the person?
So they know that you're actually really listening and not just wondering all.
Fantastic. Anything else that turn and talk looks like? Logan?
What those like is so you have so so it looks like you're looking at one of the person. So basically what it looks like is so what it is, so you sit front in front, so you can't have someone in your group, like, so say if I'm doing knee to someone and they're like this, that's not your.
So you're facing each other. How about your hands? What should I see with your hands? Sarah?
It should be in your lap unless you're doing something to show.
Yeah, your hands are to yourself. All right, so I need 2 friends to show us how to turn and talk, and I'm going to give you a topic to turn and talk about. We're going to have Melody and Heritage. In just a second, you get to be our models. When I say turn and talk, I want you to turn and talk about your weekend. So tell each other about your weekend. Please turn and talk.
This weekend
last year's graduation, we had cake. It was thick, and all the college students came and they graduated from, I think, university, and they also were dancing. We had like burgers, and it was raining, so the party still continued.
This weekend, I went to my friend's house and I went to the park and played with my brothers.
Okay, turn back towards me. What did they do really well when they turned and talked? Kevin, what did they do really well?
They were at a whisper voice.
Yeah, they were at a whisper voice. Sarah, what else did they do really well?
They were looking at each other.
Looking at each other. You could tell they were listening to each other because they weren't looking around the room. Raheem, did you notice anything else they did really well? They stayed on topic. Love it. I need two models who are going to show us what not to do in Turn and Talk. What does it not look like? Joshua and Raheem, your topic, you're going to talk about what you want to do this summer. Show us what not to do.
I want to build movies. I want to eat ice cream.
What's going on here? What's the problem? What are they not doing really well right now, Naomi?
They were talking very loud.
So Josh was way too loud.
Raheem was a bit quiet, and I don't think they were meeting.
Yeah, they had this huge gap in between them. Raheem didn't say a single word. Joshua was way too loud. Anything else you noticed, Ethan?
Well, even though there was a huge gap, yeah, never mind.
Okay. D'Angelo?
He wasn't really trying to stay on topic a little bit.
Yeah, he was trying to be a little funny instead of
other stuff too.
Great. All right. I need two more models to show us the right way again. So we saw the right way, we saw the wrong way. Now we want to be reminded of how should we actually do it to be sure. Naomi and Scholar, you two are going to show us in just a second. Don't turn yet. I'm going to give you a topic. Your topic that you're going to talk about is which animal do you think is the best and why? Turn and talk.
What do you think? I think the best animal is reptiles and amphibians because I think they are really cool, and I don't think anyone has really discovered even all the reptiles again. So I think they're the best.
I really like ocelots because I think their spider coats are really cute, and it's really like other animals because they're just like I haven't really met them, but it's really so cute. And yeah.
All right, turn back towards me. Great job, girls. Who can tell us what did they do well? Why did they model really well for us this year? Yeah, they both said something different, but they didn't argue with each other. They were kind. What else, Melody?
They stayed on topic.
Stayed on topic. Josh?
They kept talking about the same thing.
Yeah, they kept talking the whole time. Both of them got to share. D'Angelo?
It was like some people put in here, it's like they was mostly like talking to each other about nobody else hearing. This is their conversation, and it was looking at each other too.
Yeah, they were looking at each other. Their conversation was a level 1, so if you were farther back, you couldn't really hear their conversation because they were quiet enough. Sarah?
They were looking at each other and facing each other.
Fantastic.